Alright, so I'll be starting with freshman year. Our journey began the first day of band camp, stepping into the band room for the first time, seeing the upperclassmen towering over us, eager to show us the ways of the band. The first week of band camp was a thrilling and terrifying experience, and none of us freshmen thought we would come back the next week, let alone the next day. The second week of band camp started, and everyone was there on that hot Monday morning. We did not know what to expect this week. We'd gone through all the basic commands and had no idea what was in store. When we got up to the band field after warm-up and basic block, we were handed a piece of paper. For us freshmen, we were very confused on what this piece of paper was used for. The upperclassmen were happy, and the words "drill day" spread around the field. Our first drill, we learned, was on Clifton for downfield as part of our pregame show. Our first halftime involved 2 drills, Some Night and We Are Young. During that week, we got fitted for our uniforms. That made it real. I was no longer just a random freshman. I was now an official member of the Mustang Marching Band. After countless practice and downfield days, it was our band picnic. A day full of food, fun, friends, and pictures, lots and lots of pictures. As a freshman class, we got our I Survived Band Camp t-shirts. It wasn't until then that it had dawned on me that we truly did survive 2 weeks of band camp. 2 weeks full of blood, sweat, and tears, but 2 weeks I would never trade anything in the world for. Soon enough, it was our first game against Pascack Valley on September 12th, a Thursday, 4 days after school opened. The first time we'd wear our uniforms, or so we thought. It was set to rain that day, so Mr. Morgan wanted us in our civvies, which consisted of jeans and a t-shirt. As we pulled into the stadium, lined up, and headed into the stands, a huge clap of thunder and lightning lit up the sky. And without hesitation, we loaded the buses and left. Our next game was Fairlawn a week later, and finally, we debuted your 2013-14 Mustang Marching Band and our uniforms. Throughout the season, we played Blister in the Sun, Still Rock, Hey Judah, Take On Me, Night on Bald Mountain, and Ghostbusters. The drills became easier, and we were finally becoming veterans. Our first big event, besides football game, was the North Jersey Band Festival. We practiced every day leading up to that day, run it back from the top, step kick, were the only things that you heard on the field and that haunted us once we left. On the Saturday practice before the festival, we found out that one of the band members' closest friends had passed away. That practice was a very, very silent one. We all did what we had to do without any question. After practice, during a gather around, Mr. Morgan talked to us not in his usual, we have a show, so don't mess up talk, but a serious heart-to-heart with all of us. This moment truly showed how much of a family man he is. Even if we did not know the person personally, we still grieved for them. Before we left practice that day, Mr. Morgan had told us one more thing. This show is for Maria. The day of BandFest, we had our yellow ribbons in memory of Maria, and we were going to make her proud with this show. As we entered the stadium, we heard the roar of the crowd and all the cowbells and shakers. This made the nervousness subside a little bit. When it was our turn to take the field, we had our head in the game. When Mr. Morgan said go, we ran to our spot for entry. We waited patiently for the boom of the bass drum, and then we were off. The show was a bit of a blur until we stopped and bowed, looked up at the crowd, cheering and standing gave us such a sense of pride in what we do. The day of tattoo was a busy one. We had a playoff game that morning. This is our second game where we wore jeans and t-shirts. Straight from the game, we loaded up the bus and headed to West Milford. Us freshmen couldn't believe how it was possible to do a drill in the gym. Playing some of our highlights, like jump the line, 1, or as we called it, Jump 1, Cantina Band, Cruella de Vil, Jurassic Park, and Night in Bald Mountain. We got it done. We then loaded the buses again and headed to Red Robin. Even though it was a long day, it was well deserved. We were so lucky to be able to celebrate 75 glorious years of the Mustang Marching Band. For those in attendance of the dinner, it was nice seeing alumni and really understanding the rich history of the band, knowing that we were now part of the band's history. The dreaded final game of the year came. A day for goodbyes to the seniors and stories from the alumni. The Thanksgiving Day game is the most awe-inspiring game when you witness it for the first time. The stands are filled with a sea of maroon jackets, both football and band alumni. It was such a beautiful day, except for the fact the field was so muddy that it was nearly impossible to take a step without slipping a little. I actually feared for my life. Standing on the field playing, what I did is, you guys know. Our first band trip was to Norfolk, Virginia, and it was an awesome experience. From stopping at a small amusement park filled with go-karts and mini-golf, to learning about history in Jamestown and colonial Williamsburg. Our next stop was Busch Gardens, where we were free to roam the park until we had to meet with our chaperone and head to the dining hall, filled with hundreds of people and blasting polka music, which I personally enjoyed. Soon became empty as a rainstorm came upon us. By this point, it was dark, and the park had actually closed. But who was left? Us. As we waited for the buses to return, finally when the buses arrived, the few that had ponchos put them on, while others used jackets and even park maps as cover. As we ventured into the storm, we soon realized that no one knew how to get out. Finally, thanks to our in-house meteorologist, Moheen, he led the way with a very soggy map. And we ran through the park. The music of all the attractions were still blasting as we ran through the park. As we ran past them, feeling as though we were in some sort of action movie. In the end, Moheen led us out of the park and into the buses soaking wet. The big event of the trip was the NATO parade, where we marched past the USS Wisconsin, playing, you guessed it, Americans We. At the award ceremony, we ended up winning gold in first place for band front. This is our first competition, and we couldn't wait to do it again. Our final stop before Fort McHenry was Baltimore Harbor to get lunch. And let's just say we ended up leaving late, and we had to change into uniforms on the bus while moving. Some kids kept their polo shirt and khakis on, while others wore the bare minimum. You can ask some people for more details. Finally, arriving at the fort, we got off the bus, and as usual, we sat and waited. The dreaded call to line up came, and we marched into the fort, many of us in pain from blisters due to the parade the day prior. As we passed through the brick archway, we were met with the parade crowd and a huge flagpole sporting a replica flag of the flag that flew over the fort during the bombardment. We stood in concert formation to play the national anthem to the fort and flag that inspired Francis Scott Key. To look back and imagine that fateful night, to see and actually feel the size of the flag was something you just can't describe. Not long after we got back from our trip, we heard the worst news of our band life. Our director was retiring. How could this be? How could he retire? We all thought, Mr. Morgan be band director forever. Or at least, to get us through the next 4 years. With such a blow, how could we survive? We rallied as a class and decided we weren't going to let this define us. We were going to stick together wherever that led us to, and soon enough, we were sophomores.
Okay, so compared to Charles' speech, mine is going to be rather short. I just want to say that if it wasn't for my friends the end of freshman year, if it wasn't for them talking to me to stay in band, I wouldn't be a senior in the marching band right now. So I want to say thank you to my friends who convinced me to stay in marching band. Okay, so here it goes. I would like to start off by saying that the class of 2017 is the strongest class yet. I say this because we have gone through ups and downs, but mostly downs. We have been through 3 different band directors and with Mr. Morgan twice in 4 years. With all this change, it made us stronger. The beginning of sophomore year, we united as one to make sure that the new director, Mr. Holliday, got to learn everything about what we were as a band. Despite all the adversity being thrown our way, we pulled through and really rose to the top as a class. The file sergeant spots were mostly filled by sophomores, and that showed how dedicated our class was to keep the traditional ways of the band alive. Our season started as normal, and soon we were busy almost every weekend with games and events. Although we seemingly kept all of our traditions alive within the public eye, we weren't looked at as the show band of the Northeast anymore, more like a ticking time bomb waiting to fall through. We always tried our hardest to please the public eye, but we were always ridiculed for who our band director was. Sophomore year was the year that the kids suffered the most. It definitely wasn't a year that I enjoyed being in a band at all, and most of you will agree with me. In October, we took part in the Columbus Day Parade. That was fun only because it was something new for us as a sophomore class, but for others, as in the juniors and seniors, it was a death parade. Well, in that parade, we took first place. That had to show the dedication we had to prove to others that we were still the show band of the Northeast. I remember always being anxious about making a mistake on the field during a show and immediately having to hear about it later on social media. Being able to go to Verona to be a part of a concert band competition was a true experience. I can say for myself that I had a lot of fun, and I enjoyed being able to hear the different styles of music that other schools have been practicing for. The pieces of music that we got to play were definitely challenging, but I believe we played both pieces to the best of our abilities. Despite the euphonium breaking down in the beginning of Russian Sailor's Dance, I pretended that I was playing the whole entire time. The best part of sophomore year was being an exhibition band in Roxbury, New Jersey. Our show was supposed to be 12 minutes long, but ended up being 13 minutes long in total. That caused us almost to get kicked off the field. Practicing for that show was very painful, trying to get to our spots during the double time of Kashmir, while Michelle, Gabby, F, and I were practically sprinting to our spots and running into each other in the process. By the end of sophomore year, we were just eager to see what Big Plan junior year had for us waiting.
All right, here we go. Junior year. 2 years under our belts, and it was our turn to take some responsibilities. Some of us took charge during sectionals, some of us became DIs, and some of us had become sergeants. These were the accomplishments many of us had dreamed about just 2 years ago, but they didn't come without a catch. We were now the examples, and we had nobody to lean on but ourselves. Little did any of us know, but we were about to be hit with one of the biggest obstacles imaginable. Our director, Mr. Holliday, would no longer hold the title of CHS Mustang Band Director. Mr. Orlando and Mr. Leschwitz left the 100-plus members of this band dazed and confused that night, some sobbing, some furious, many unsure of what the next day would bring. Well, that next day brought hope, new determination, and a contagious attitude of it's going to take a lot more than that. The assistant directors, led by none other than Ms. Kinsicki, filled the shoes that were so abruptly left empty just days prior. With our revived spirits and the temporary return of Mr. Morgan, the band radiated with an eagerness for what was in store for us during the season. And boy, did we have a lot in store. we saw a favorite from our past again in the form of Night on Bald Mountain. We saw classics like Superstition and Thriller. Let's not forget the band favorite Rage Against the Machine medley given to us by Mr. Hayward, which was later appropriately named Jungle Jam by Mr. Morgan. We even had the theme from Game of Thrones, coupled with a drill written by none other than Michael Troller. In addition to this, the football team finished the season with a record of 6-4, a huge success compared to the winless season just 1 year earlier. The season concluded with a home Thanksgiving game. We saw old friends who had already graduated and met new people from different eras of the Mustang Band. We put script CHS back in the box, played Old Lang Syne, and showed the crowd what we've all done for love. The season may have ended, but band was far from over. We were slated to take the field of competition in Jacksonville, Florida, for a chance to perform in the Gator Bowl halftime show. Practices were long, and the bitter cold only made it more difficult. After everything, however, we boarded the buses on that early December morning as a well-oiled machine, confident that we'd show the judges something they'd never seen before. The trip was phenomenal. I never thought I would ever have that much fun on a bus filled with kids. Nor did I ever expect my favorite high school memories to occur in a hotel room with my friends, 934 miles away from CHS, planning out who we declare an inter-squad rivalry on. We marched to the pep rally cheering on the Nittany Lions, which might have been my favorite part of the trip. The game was great. Penn State might have lost, but most of us were used to our team losing. Despite this, and us falling short at the competition, and the hotel breakfast being a little less than enjoyable, and the rest stop in Georgia smelling a little like poop, these 5 days were unforgettable. There's so many more things about this year that I want to mention, like Mr. Morgan and some drunk Georgia fan getting into a debate between the Big Ten or SEC being the best, or the odd obsession with an American fantasy formed by so many people, or David bringing his Wii to West Milford Tattoo and creating a Smash Bros. King of the Hill, which eventually caught even Mr. Morgan's attention. Also, I thought of this back here. Christian and CJ having a dance battle at the awards ceremony. Well, I don't want to be up here giving this speech for a week, so I'll sum it up to you. For a junior in the Mustang Band, expect anything, because anything goes.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet, like senior year came by really quick. Senior year was a long time coming. It's during senior year that people start crying after performances, be it tattoo, the last home game, or the last game of the season. But I, like many others, did not. By the time senior year came around, the band was accustomed to change. From changes in band directors, assistant band directors, to playing styles, we knew that change was a part of the band, and that we would adjust ourselves accordingly. So that certainly didn't stop us from having a great season. We made way for Mr. Stepneski and a band alumnus and experienced director who would work alongside returning assistants, Mr. Kriegsman and Ms. Kinsicki, and welcome Ms. Trauma. Newly enforced ideas of discipline and technique during band camp proved to us that the band had finally found its stride, and the director who could revitalize the franchise. So, with a strong focus on marching with proper technique and creating a wall of sound, the band was making great progress in getting back to form. Mr. Stepneski promoted the idea that practice makes permanent. Band camp was a clear indication of this when we did downfield 15 times in a row, 15 times. Needs were getting higher and turns were getting snappier because we knew that we could always do more. For some members, it was difficult to adjust to a new way of doing things as the band had become accustomed to a certain number of habits, like coming late from club meetings, missing for club meetings, or sitting out during practice. But once we made it through the dust on the band field, the many injuries people faced, and the start of sniffle season, all in the first month, the band was improving. From the first home game in September, the band was met with a warm reception, and it really felt like the band had come home after a couple of tumultuous years, especially because most of the home games took up the schedule. We were brought back to the roots of what the band stood for, tradition, and we really kept up with the band's previous standards. No matter what, we cheered on the team, which was pretty competent this year in comparison to other years. The field was over there, and we made sure not to miss it. Each game and event was our first time performing as seniors and our last as Mustang band members. And that is what made each event even more special. With this year's theme being Don't Stop Me Now, we went downtown and took it to the streets with Batman at the Band Fest. Came out with a little more respect after Tattoo. Even went out of Kansas with Toto to La La Land. And we stopped by the Columbus Day Parade. It was definitely one of the harder years in band, given the amount of effort required from us. But in the end, it is what reinforced the ideas that Mr. Morgan had set precedent of. Living out 4Ds. The idea that if you commit to doing something, you follow it through and through and give it your all from beginning to end. The idea, it was definitely a perfect ending to a great 4 years in band, which drove home the ideas we will carry for the rest of our lives. To have dedication, desire, drive, and discipline is what it means to be in a Mustang marching band. And so I did not cry at the last game because I realized that these are things that will stay with me for life. In that moment that I stopped and realized this, I stopped being a schmo and found out that even though senior year was over, band was never leaving me. So it's okay to cry because you're sad that band is over, but just remember to smile because you know that band is never leaving us and will always be a part of us no matter where we end up. So here's the new beginnings.